Welcome back. It's your boy Sarhanis here. The name of today's story is America's Got Talent. Let's talk about it. Now, I happened to get an email from the show, and right away, I called the casting director. They wanted to give me a private audition. I wasn't going to have to wait in line. I was going to be escorted in, and I had a private parking spot. So I went. I did the audition. When I got out, I was seeing stars, and the casting director said, "Great job, Jonny. You're going to be moving on to round 2. I said, "Wait, you mean I have to do this again?" She said, "Yes." So I went on to round 2. When I was done, I got out. I was seeing twice as many stars. The casting director said, "Great job, Jonny. Everybody loves you. You're going to be moving on to the final round of the audition process in front of the executive producers and producers for the show." I said, "Wait, you mean I have to do this again?" She said, "Yes." Now, when I would do these auditions, I would just go in and I would just completely be myself. Because if you truly are different, then you're going to stand out. Where other people would have to come up with things like, I'm going to be the lesbian on the show, or I'm going to be the flamboyant gay person on the show, or I'm going to be the bully on the show, or I'm going to be the super jacked guy on the show, or I'm going to be the gangster on the show. I never had to think from that perspective. I would just go in and completely be myself and let it shine, and people were fascinated by it. And then they would see my arm wrestling medals, and that would set me apart even more. And then they would see how psychopath ripped I was, and that would set me apart even more. And then they would see how tan I was, and that would set me apart even more. And then I would use my catchphrases, and they would be on the floor dying laughing. And then I would pop off the animal, and I booked every single one of those shows. Big Brother, America's Got Talent, VH1's Ton of Cash. I was the first person in the country chosen to be on all 3 of those shows. That's a fact. So when I went in and did the final audition for AGT, in front of the executive producers and producers for the show, after I finished doing the animal, I said, "Let's just say I'm a real animal in the sack." And the executive producer stood up with passion, and he said, "You know who this guy reminds me of?" He said, "A modern day Andy Kaufman." And that personally meant a lot to me. The Man on the Moon. He's somebody who really inspired me throughout the course of my life, so I thought that was awesome. Now, I had made prior plans to go back to Boston. So when you're on these shows, you'll have somebody who works with you. They will contact you basically every single day. Make sure you're watching the show, studying the show, make sure you're exercising. Now, when I was on VH1's Ton of Cash and supposed to be on Big Brother, the people that I had working with me on those shows, they were awesome. The lady that I had working with me on America's Got Talent, she sucked. I could tell that she was really new at this because I'd been through the process twice before. So I asked her, I said, I was planning to go back to Boston. I said, I know America's Got Talent. I said, films in different locations. I said, would it be an issue, I said, if I just shot the one in New York City? She said that was fine. That shouldn't be an issue. So I went back to Boston. I was staying with my little sister Mara at the time, who runs a gym. So when Mara would get home from work, she would come home and she would drop me the keys, and I would go straight to her gym. I had it completely to myself. I would exercise there. I would practice transforming into the animal there with my neck veins, with my fingers, very similar to Michael J. Fox, Teen Wolf, the bathroom scene. But really, I was just fine-tuning things. I mean, I've been doing the animal since I was 14 or 15 years old. So I had a friend of mine stitch me a shirt that would tear open from the back when I would fall to the ground before I transformed into the animal. And I was ready to rock. So I took a train into New York City. I checked into the hotel. Everything's paid for. Now, the night before the show, I didn't sleep for 1 second. I had a lot on my mind. I was thinking about what a big opportunity this was for me. And I thought, maybe you crawl on stage. And I was also just listening to music and thinking, I was really proud of myself and how far I'd come. I knew I was good, but I don't know if I ever imagined that I would be the first person in the country chosen for the 3 shows that I just mentioned. And I was really proud of, that I stayed true to myself and I stayed true to my dreams and how far I'd come, with the acting, with the arm wrestling, and I was ready to rock. So now we're, 1 hour from the season premiere of America's Got Talent. All the contestants are in this huge room, just talking to each other. So the production assistant, walked in, said, "All right, guys, I'm going to read off the order for AGT." And they said, "All right, Jonny, Animal, you're going to be going first." Everybody was looking at me, pointing at me, smiling at me. People wanted to come up to me and talk to me. "Hey, man, can't wait to see your act." It's kind of hard to explain my act. So I would be like, let's just say I turn into the Incredible Hulk. So, it's a season premiere of America's Got Talent. I have friends in the stands, family in the stands. It's Hammerstein Auditorium Ballroom. There's thousands of people, and the lights are going on. People are bugging. And I went and I spoke to the woman who worked with me real quick, and I said, "What do you think about those catchphrases?" And she said, "Jonny, I want you to do exactly what you did in your audition." So I was ready. Nick Cannon started imitating the animal. He said, "Can I see a little bit of it, man?" I said, "How's Mariah, dog?" He said, "She good." I said, "Cool." I said, "Tell her I said hi." And I walked center stage. And I said, "Hi, my name's Jonny Sarhanis, a.k.a. the Greek Mystique with the tzatziki sauce. I'm a 3-time California state champion in the sport of arm wrestling." And Howie Mandel interrupted me and said, "Wait, this isn't California." I said, "I know, I flew in yesterday." I said, "To do this act, I have to contract every muscle in my body, even my butthole. That's probably why I have hemorrhoids." And right away, 2 of the judges buzzed me out. Now, you only get 3 buzzes. So that completely ruined the act for me. I didn't have time to, transform into the animal, so I just jumped right into it. And everybody was booing the animal. Now, this was the first time in my entire life I had ever heard anyone boo the animal. I would always just hear people dying laughing. So I thought in my mind, all right, man, just do it even harder and even faster, and those boos will turn to cheers. They didn't. So when I was done, Howie Mandel said, "What was that?" And a lot of this you can see on the Jay Leno show. And I said, "Hey, man, some people drink, some people smoke. I do the animal. It helps me cope with life." Howie responded, "Well, now you've given America a choice. And I think they're going to choose drinking and smoking over doing that." I said, "I don't think America can do that." Howie said, "Why are you even on the show?" I said, ask your producers. Howie looked frustrated. He said, it's a no for me. Then it cut to Heidi Klum. She said, first off, it's pronounced Siki sauce, and I think you have a really nice body. And it was a no for Heidi. Then it cut to Mel B. She said, that was crap. And it was a no for Mel B. Then it cut to Howard Stern. And he said, I get it, man. I get it. You come on this show, you do this crazy act for your friends at home. I get it. And it was a no for Howard Stern. And then I turned to Howie Mandel. And I said, and last but not least, I'd like to thank the haters. If it wasn't for your lack of support and respect, I would have never taken the time to kick your butt. And I walked off stage. Now, obviously, me dropping the hemorrhoids line completely ruined the act for me. Now, do I think I would have won America's Got Talent? No. Do I think I would have gone on to round 2? Sure. And that's why it worked on VH1's Ton of Cash. Because it had a beginning and it had an end. And that's why it didn't work on America's Got Talent. And I was the first person in the history of America's Got Talent to be voted off by all 4 judges. There's nothing like a natural. And I was also the only person chosen to be featured on the Jay Leno show for the season premiere of America's Got Talent, because they know that I am entertainment. Thank you for tuning in. Stay safe. And I look forward to talking to you guys really soon.